1 out of 5 Nigerians must have watched this advertisement, and you might be one of them.
Enjoy a new world of experience in delicious snacks, Mr. Biggs.
Their happiness is my happiness.
My light in every city.
So we took mom and our friends down memory lane to Mr. Biggs restaurant for our birthday celebration.
Mr. Biggs has always been a major part of my story.
You can't talk about the business of fast food restaurants in Nigeria without mentioning Mr. Biggs. And at a particular point in time, Mr. Biggs was once a household name in Nigeria from 1986 to the early 2000s, occupying 170 locations across 40 cities in Nigeria, with another 4 different locations in Ghana. With its iconic yellow blue and its red colored background boldly placed on their buildings, it wasn't just a restaurant, but it was a home away from home, where families would go to after church on Sundays, a place where kids were eager to visit right after school, a place you can take a loved one to for a date and have a wonderful time, with the promise of Mr. Biggs' legendary meat pie, fried chicken and ice cream. It was truly a home away from home for every Nigerian, regardless of who you are or where you're from. But as the years rolled by, this place that once dominated the fast food industry and holds memories for a lot of Nigerians experienced a significant decline and became a shadow of itself, from being at the very top to being almost forgotten. What happened? Was it the emergence of competition and they couldn't keep up, or was it negligence from the owners? In this video, we will be looking at the rise of Mr. Biggs and why they fell. This is the truth behind the fall of Mr. Biggs. Before Mr. Biggs became Mr. Biggs, it was once known as Kingsway Departmental Stores, which was founded by UAC in the 1960s. And for those who don't know what UAC means, it is the United African Company of Nigeria. And the idea behind Kingsway Departmental Stores was to model the idea of coffee shops in the Western world, where they had people come in to have a cup of coffee, relax, and enjoy a light snack. Over time, the coffee shops grew and UAC wanted to expand their business operations, and in the process, they stumbled on the concept of fast food restaurants, which was a bit strange and a new concept to Nigerians at that time, but they took the opportunity nonetheless. Their aim was simple, and it was to provide good food in a homely environment, a good customer experience, catering to the local taste of Nigerians, and at the same time, introduce a new culinary experience to them, just like what McDonald's did in the United States. And so, in 1986, UAC transformed Kingsway Stores from a coffee shop into a full-fledged fast food restaurant, changing its name to Mr. Biggs.
Enjoy a new world of experience in delicious snacks, Mr. Biggs. All your favorite snacks and these exciting specials.
And that was how the first Mr. Biggs restaurant was opened in Marina, Lagos State. They offered a wide variety of items on the menu at an affordable price, and its branches were strategically opened to attract office workers and business people, providing a welcoming environment for them to eat and have conversations. And over time, it quickly became a family-friendly themed restaurant, and a visit to Mr. Biggs would make any child's face light up. I, for one, always looked forward to going there as a kid with my dad after church on Sundays, and my oh my, it was a wonderful time. Mr. Biggs was also a perfect date spot for lovers who wanted to have a good time and a good meal. Mr. Biggs was also the go-to spot for families during the festive seasons like Easter, Christmas, and Salah. It was such a good time. Everyone wanted to go to Mr. Biggs. Lovers, parents, friends for the food, and the kids for food and the Super Striker comic books. With the growing attention, they began to see themselves as the McDonald's of Nigeria. And I won't lie, they were living up to that reputation. But in the midst of this attention and accolades they were getting, a chain of competition was on the rise, and this played a part in turning Mr. Biggs into a shadow of itself. Mr. Biggs undoubtedly laid the foundation and proved without a doubt that a fast food restaurant business in Nigeria was not just possible, but it was also profitable, and in the process, other fast food chains sprung up, and Tantalizer was formed, which was a massive competition at that time. Tasty fried chicken and sweet sensation followed suit, which gave Mr. Biggs a run for their money. Seeing the competition, Mr. Biggs went on a rebranding spree in order to keep their customers and stay at the top. This made them come up with new slogans like, "What a delicious experience," "Good taste, always good," and at some points, they changed their logo so they can appear new and better to the public. In the attempt of a rebrand, they went into a partnership with Mobil, an oil marketing giant, in the year 2000, and the point of this partnership was that anywhere you see a Mobil filling station, you would see Mr. Biggs. You fill up your tank and you fill up your belly with delicious meat pie. And this was brilliant and mutually beneficial for Mobil and Mr. Biggs, because you'd want to buy fuel at Mobil because Mr. Biggs is there, and you'd want to eat at Mr. Biggs in Mobil because you'd buy fuel after eating. However, UAC recognized that they would have to conduct more intensive research if they want to sustain a truly exceptional national brand. So in 2002, they sent Obi Ugudan, who was a management trainee at that time, to Aberdeen, Scotland, to study the operations of global quick service restaurant chains like McDonald's, which Mr. Biggs was originally fashioned from. And when she got back, she advised for the adoption of a model that featured a mix of franchises and homegrown branches, which means 10% of the branches nationwide would be owned by franchisees, while 90% will be owned by UAC itself. And what this means in layman terms is that you will see Mr. Biggs pop-up outlets everywhere you go, because they gave investors the permission to use the name Mr. Biggs to open outlets and sell food across the country. But their mistake was that they didn't do an adequate background check to know if these people were qualified to run a fast food restaurant business. And this is where things began to fall apart. Don't get me wrong, the expansion and franchising was a brilliant idea at first, but things started falling apart when these franchisees couldn't maintain the reputation of excellence that made people fall in love with Mr. Biggs. How? Well, this stemmed from quality control. These franchisees were not able to keep up with the original quality of Mr. Biggs because they were trying to save costs. To understand this, the Mr. Biggs in Festac would have a completely different menu from the one at Maryland, and their biggest seller, which was their meat pie, wasn't the same quality anymore, because the one sold at Lekki will be completely different from the one sold at Victoria Island. There was no unified taste. Customers didn't know what to expect, so they had no choice but to go look elsewhere, since Mr. Biggs would no longer provide a quality experience across its different outlets. And the funny part about all of this is that UAC cut franchisees loose from their supply chain and allowed them find their own. And additionally, many franchisees backed out after being choked with the hardships of operating a restaurant business in Nigeria. And this included unreliable power supply, high electricity bills, supply chain issues, local government levies, signboard and radio licensing fees for playing music in the restaurants, as well And in July of 2018, Mr. Biggs rebranded with the launch of Express Kiosks, which were placed at few strategic points in Lagos. But this didn't last long because the customers started complaining about how the snacks and food was not what it used to be. And with all of this being said, do you think Mr. Biggs have a chance of coming back if they gave marketing and branding to Gen Z professionals who understand the new vibe of the market, especially with the competition everywhere? Let me know in the comment section. Bye for now.